Hi everybody, my name is Jessica Eaton and it's good to be back here with you guys at week 8. I am going to share with you my favorite lesson plan from this week, and my favorite lesson plan actually spans over a few days, but it comes from the literature writing portion of this activity. And it's something that I'm currently doing with my sophomore English class. They are in world history right now. And we just started our Edgar Allan Poe unit, and our first short story is The Telltale Heart. And I eventually want them to be able to write a literary argument paper. This is going to be the first literary argument paper that any of them have ever written, and so I want to give them a lot of support and scaffolding for that. And their prompt for the paper is going to be, is the narrator of Edgar Allan Poe's Telltale Heart insane, or is he sane? And one way that I scaffold that is I am doing a mock trial with this class. And the prompt for their mock trial is the narrator of Telltale Heart sane and guilty of murder, or is he insane and should he be given an insanity plea? So I have two teams of students. The first team is the prosecution team, and they are trying to argue that the narrator is sane and should be guilty of murder. And then I have the defense team, and they are trying to defend the narrator and try to get him an insanity plea. So the steps that we go through to do this are first, I introduce the mock trial. And our first reading of Telltale Heart, I have them annotate the text for both sides of the argument. So I'll have them look for evidence that he's insane, evidence that he is sane, and then once we have read through it the first time and they look over all of the evidence, they choose a side. And this time I had to end up moving two of them because a lot of them wanted to do insanity. I had to move two of them over to the sane side, and thankfully they all volunteered to do that, so that helps. But then we read through it again, knowing what side they're on, and they dig a little deeper, look for more evidence to support their side. Once we've done the second reading, I have them jump into their groups and they do research. They research cases of insanity pleas. How do you get an insanity plea? They research cases of people who tried to plea insanity but ended up being prosecuted and didn't get that plea. So I have them do research on cases that kind of apply to this. And then once they research, they can use that in some of their evidence, but a lot of them will kind of just use it for head knowledge. But then they have to have an opening statement and a closing statement. They have to have 3 claims that support their thesis, so whatever side that they're on, and each claim has to have 2 pieces of textual evidence. So once they have all of that, it's basically set up like a paper. You have your introductory paragraph, which is your opening statement. You have your 3 body paragraphs, which are your claims, and then they have their closing statement, which is kind of like their conclusion. Oh, and then for every claim, they also have to have a counter argument and a rebuttal for that counter argument. I forgot about that. And then after that, we just jump into the trial. So normally one person does the opening statement for the team, and then another person does the other opening statement, and then we jump into claims. The first claim comes up and talks. The other team brings a counter argument, they bring a rebuttal, and then we jump into the next claim. And it just kind of goes back and forth. And then once they have done this mock trial, I feel that I've scaffolded them enough, and I let them write their paper. They can choose the side that they were on, or they can choose the other side, but they still have to have their intro paragraph, their 3 claims with textual evidence, and then their concluding paragraph. And so I really like this mock trial because it kind of tricks them into writing a paper. And it's just a lot of fun, and it's really good, especially because they've never done this before. So it's a fun activity that gets them engaged, and I haven't seen their papers yet, so I'm really excited to read them and to look at that. So I look forward to hearing what your guys' favorite lesson plans were. Yeah, have a great week.